Throw away, throw yellow. Okay. I'm a wedding photographer and I see this all the time. Guests are forced to be in the blaring sun with no water or beverages. Brides don't think about the guest's experience. Usually by the time it's all said and done, the guests are often done after the ceremony and peace out after the meal. Honestly though, that's like kind of not surprising. I like get it because like obviously the bride and groom are like the focus, but at the same time, like I feel like my goal, if I was to have like a big wedding with like lots of people and stuff, would be for everyone to leave being like, that was a great wedding. Because like weddings can be so fun, but they can also be the absolute worst. Oh, just in the sun, no beverages. That's all I want is beverages. At a wedding, all the beverages.
Ignoring the brownie table and confidently cutting myself a slice of her wedding cake, thinking, uh-oh, they forgot to serve it to everyone else. No! Oh my god, she's dancing while she's doing this. This is pretty bad. This is pretty bad. That's why I don't eat anything at weddings or just at any time. Like to pull things out, I'll wait till like 17 people grab one thing and then maybe I'll walk over and grab and help myself. Olivia was at a wedding literally last weekend. I couldn't go because I was sick, all right? I'd just bail. She went and I was like, hey, did you eat any like cool snacks? And she's like, no, I got too nervous. I'm like, yeah, I get it. Sometimes it's hard to have a snack at a wedding because you're like, oh, this could be a family heirloom and I'm just gonna eat it by accident.
See now, yeah, and then there, yeah, and the cake's gonna go. The cake's gonna go. If it doesn't go, I don't know. Oh, the cake's going. Like I said, the cake is gone. It went. I knew it. I knew. I love how it's in slow motion too. We watch the tragedy just unfold. Yeah, that's another thing I don't, why are the wedding cakes like 5-7 tiers? I don't know why, like anytime I see someone doing something like that, driving an 18-wheeler or anything like that, I always get a little nervous, like, I don't think I could do that. Look, I don't think I could do that, dude. I don't think I could lift that cake in, bro, without dropping it, dude. I don't know why I think that, because I've never been anywhere close to the baking industry, so I don't know why. But anytime someone has a job like that, I get secondhand anxiety for them. Does that make sense? God. Humans are weird. I'm a weird dude. I'm sorry. I can't help it.
I've officially dropped out of the bridal party. I'm a size 12 with no plans on dropping to a size 8 by December. Just a few things to ask. I handpicked all the dresses and bridesmaids that will be there and they will all be a size 8. So if you're not a size 8, I recommend hitting the gym, no offense. What the hell? That's so weird. That's the weirdest thing. I also would drop out of the bridal party. Like regardless, even if I was like, what if somebody's like a size 6 or a size 4?
Sorry, we only carry sizes 1, 3, and 5.
Now they gotta wear a dress that's too big too? Like, it doesn't make any sense.
What reality you live in?
Not everyone is just the same size. That's weird. That's weird behavior. That's just weird. Like, why? 8 is so random too. I don't know, man. I don't even know what to say on this one. I would drop out too, just because that's a weird rule. I'd be like, who am I supporting here?
Okay, yeah, if you're gonna throw people up in the air, this is, again, a photo one, I assume. I wish it was a video one, that would be fantastic, but this is why you kinda, get some height restrictions on if you're gonna throw people. I know LMFAO is a great group, and, when the song Shots or Yes is playing, you wanna grab your friends and throw them up in the air. I get it, we've all been there, but gotta watch for the ceilings. That's why here we have really high ceilings, so high. Throw me up, and I'll come back down safely.
70 more guests showed up than we were invited. Oh, this is the wedding stuff. Okay. Turns out Mill was inviting people and not telling us. We ran out of chairs, food, everything, except wine. We had plenty of that. Someone stole the wedding gifts. Oh, that sounds like the, what? That sounds like the marriage from hell. That is the one thing you always gotta make sure you have. You gotta have extra food. In case Chetty shows up. I like food. I love it. I don't want to eat all your food, but you have more wine though, and that's important. Running out of food sucks. Running out of chairs, awkward, especially if there's old people, because there's lots of grandma, grandpas, lots of auntie, uncles. I gotta sit down. But if there's wine, you can drink away the problems, and it's great. If there's wine, it's fine. That should be one of my rules.
Am I the for not giving my cousin Mike a +1 to my wedding because his girlfriend smells like eggs? What the? Well, Mike just found out he's the only close family member not getting a +1. When he pressed me on the issue, I told him that she smelled. He yelled at me and called me some unpleasant things before saying if she wasn't coming, then neither was he. Yeah, I like do think that that's the move, like, cause she smells like eggs? I don't know, man. Why does she smell like eggs, first of all? But like, I don't think you should not invite somebody because they smell like eggs. And also, I understand why Mike was like a little annoyed by that, especially if he's the only close family member not getting a +1. Like, she's clearly being singled out and she probably wants to know. Also, I like don't blame people who, if they're going to a wedding and then they don't get a +1, like that's okay. Also, you don't have to give anybody a +1. Like, you don't want a bunch of randoms at your wedding, that's totally fine. But I also don't blame somebody if they don't get a +1 for not going because their spouse isn't invited. Like, I also don't blame that. I can see both sides on that issue.
The priest asked, any objections? And her 90-year-old Italian grandpa stood up silent for a minute, sat saying, and then sat saying, no, I get. He stood up silently for a whole minute and was like, no, I'm just kidding, it's all good. I've dreamt about doing this just to be like, yeah, psych. Cause like, why do they ask? Do they actually expect anyone to do it? I know it's like tradition to ask, but God, that's so scary. Cause what if someone's like, none of us want you to get married. We're gonna tell you now on the day, an hour prior. Cheers. He's probably waiting all day. Yeah? He's like, oh, it's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be so good.
Okay, we're dancing, yeah. Okay, with the groom, okay. Chain that's now pin, oh. Oh! That's not the bride. I think it is, I think it's a little, there's a part of me that thinks it's a little like, ugh, look at her. She's taking all my attention, it's my day. But to be fair, it is your day. And to wear a gown to someone else's wedding is just kind of, well, that's just kind of strange. I don't know, but I like that, this Cruella looking gown lady, that's some Disney level villain right there. Yeah, it is, but okay.
Us, the bridesmaids, did everything from dragging 250 chairs and setting them up, to hauling furniture down 2 flights of stairs, positioning it in other places. During the wedding, I learned that the bride and groom were trying to avoid all of the setup. Toward the end of the party, almost everyone had left, and I realized that 2 of the groomsmen were so drunk that they were going to be useless, and it would again be on the bridesmaids to clean up and put all the furniture back up the stairs. I went to tell the bride goodbye. Yeah, I can imagine. Like, I do get it as like the bridal party and stuff like that, and also like the groomsmen and all of that, like they should help with the setup and the well, I mean, should I use lightly, but like, you know, it makes sense that the bridal party helps, but like, wouldn't also, I'm so hands-on, like I would be the one who's like there making sure everything's how I want it to be. I'm not leaving things up to anyone else. I would be stressed. I would be so stressed. I want to be involved. What if I show up and the furniture isn't where I want it to be? You know? I don't know. Maybe that's just me, but that is kind of rude.
Somebody else appears to have worn white on the wedding day, it seems, and that's a big no-no. Or maybe I'm missing something. Maybe it's like, oh no, Taylor, you fool. It's actually, their sandals are this and this. No, it looks like 2 white dresses on someone's wedding day. I would assume on the right, that's their wedding? No. Left? Left has the bouquet. Chris, whose wedding do you think this is? Left or right? Like, I was saying right at first because I saw the stuff in the back there, and it looks like maybe, you know, whatever the thing is on your back. I don't know, so I was gonna say cape. Probably not a cape. I kind of like the style of the left more, you know? Kind of looks more Star Wars Rogue One, more like futuristic wedding.
From Snowpaw 850. My grandmother walked out halfway through my vows. Uh-oh. Still don't actually know why because we haven't spoken since. She just said to my aunt, right, all that enough? Off she went to wait. That's so bad. Right then, all that enough, I'm going. And she went off to wait in my aunt's car. My uncle had to miss the first half of our receptions just driving the old hag home. That's weird. That's so, is she just tired? Is she old? Why would grandma do that? I feel like every grandma wants to show up. My grandma wants to show up to my wedding. She struggles with mobility. She'd still show up because it's grandma. Grandma loves you. I don't know, sometimes old people get silly, I don't know.
I'm talking 5 solid hours of crafting for the bride's decorations at her house that should have been completed months ago. The bride was also super drunk and wasn't even being gracious about it. She was literally calling us dumb bleep. I never spoke to her again after I left her wedding. Yeah, I can imagine. If, like, weddings suck. like, well, weddings don't suck. The preparation for weddings suck. It's a lot of work, so many little dainty things to do, like, you know, it's a lot of work regardless. Even if you have a ton of money and can just buy everything, it still can be a lot of work. Just like harassing your bridesmaids while they're helping you though, and insulting them and calling them rude things, just seems unhinged. Like, there's no like, oh, she was stressed, that can like cover this behavior, you know?
Nice, this is me at a wedding. He's making waves out of that room. Yeah, that's amazing. Yes, be this person. Please be this person at the wedding. That dance floor is small but mighty. Don't wait for somebody else to do it first. Just go. Just go and battle someone's nana. Go to the DJ, say, hey, can you play Busta Rhymes? I go, yeah, of course. Are you sure? It's only 7. I go, Busta Rhymes, thanks so much. Slide them a 20, come over, and just get it done. Get a circle, battle a couple uncles, a couple nans, and then grab a slice of wedding cake confidently, and then dip. That's how you do weddings.
Okay, this is from, I can't read that, we're just gonna go with it. My mom and dad walked from the table to table and quietly told everyone that they were separating. At your wedding? What's the point of that? Why would you do that then? Timing's huge in life. Timing's a big one. Anyone will tell you that. Timing is huge. And that's just not good timing at all for partner. That's just not good.
So these two girls I know that have been friends for approximately 20 years are having, I acted out the little symbol there, are having their weddings on the same day, separate locations, and 2 different people, by the way. Okay. Bride A is having a surprise wedding and has invited all of her friends and family over for a late 30th birthday party where she and her beloved will tie the knot in their backyard. Invitation sent with RSVP. Bride B is having a super extravagant wedding of the century and sent out the invitations for the same day as their friend, Bride A, late 30th birthday party. And yes, Bride B is in the know and actually supposed to be a surprise bridesmaid in Bride A wedding. Obviously not happening. What? Why would Bride B do that? Also, a surprise wedding? I've never heard of that before. Would you be down?
Nope.
Would you be down for that? If I thought I was going for a 30th birthday party and it turns out to be a wedding, I'd feel terribly underdressed. I would wear very different things to those events. But like, why would Bride... I'm just gonna say it, I don't think they're friends anymore. That's like worse than like, she threw a party on the same day as my party. A wedding on the same day as my wedding. Not good.
Best man got a little too lit for the ceremony. It's my worst fear. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Captain Morgan, hey. I'm like, put that leg up. I'm like, we'll try on the next wedding. Yeah, that sucks. Again, drink responsibly. That's really it. Also, it looks so sunny out here. If you're drinking, make sure you're getting hydrated too. Getting married in Arizona, washing down some twisted teas all day. You're gonna faint. You're probably gonna faint. You're probably not gonna feel too good come 4 p.m. in the blistering heat. My best friend's getting married. He asked me to be the best man. I'm not gonna do what any of these guys do in this video, promise. Let's do it.
Not a bridesmaid, but my mom was a wedding photographer for many years. Long story short, the father of the bride had a heart attack and he was being carried out on a stretcher, and the sobbing bride yells, "How could you ruin my wedding like this?" Oh my god. Wow. That is a 10 out of 10 bridezilla, like 100%. Just the fact that she's blaming someone for having a heart attack is ridiculous. I mean, as if he like planned it or something. God, that's so funny.
I didn't make it to the wedding. I was best friends with the woman. Literally, we did everything together. She assembled her wedding party and didn't invite me. She threw me my bachelorette, witnessed my marriage, and I found out later I wasn't invited because I was overweight, and her mother thought that would limit bridesmaid dress choices and throw the wedding photos off. At least I, dodged a bullet. That's a real shame about that woman you used to be friends with, because she sounds absolutely heinous. You are significantly better off not being friends with someone who could be so outrageously shallow that they would excise you from their life because you didn't fit their aesthetics. That is just absolutely, utterly, reprehensibly vile. Vile people. I hope their wedding was a complete failure, and I hope they got divorced shortly after. And I don't feel bad saying it. It was 10 degrees Fahrenheit in February, and the bride insisted on outdoor photos without coats because we can't hide the dresses. Even the photographer told her no, and she pitched a fit. Years later, she still complains about how her bridesmaids ruined her wedding. That's ridiculous, you know? I live in Canada. If I had to deal with years of trick-or-treating by ruining my Halloween costumes by putting a little winter coat over my Darth Vader or Spider-Man costume, you can put up with having a little coat over your dress. I'm sure you all still looked lovely. I'm sure the dresses were fantastic. The coats weren't taken away from it. They were just trying to keep your arms warm. I had a friend that wanted to do a destination bachelorette party weekend. I was interning at the time for minimum wage / part-time, so I was pretty broke. I saved and managed to make it work, but it was tight, and I wasn't going crazy with the drinks and shots and whatnot like everybody else was. She pulled me aside and almost kicked me out of the wedding because I wasn't being supportive enough. My sister-in-law asked her bridesmaids, me included, to gain 5 to 10 kilos to make her look better in comparison. I just can't understand that. Well, you can't understand it because you sound like a normal person. And good cannot comprehend evil. That's just, you know, one of the ways of the world. And it sounds like your friend is evil because your friend was asking everybody to put on weight so that she would look better. That's insane. That's evil, just so you know. Like the business about like not buying enough drinks or whatever, that's lame. But that's not evil like the other stuff is. If that's number 10, I am not gonna make it to number 1. Good golly, Miss Molly.
Bride was blonde. All bridesmaids except for me were brunette. She asked me to dye my hair brown for the wedding because she wanted to be the only blonde. Oh my gosh, the entitlement, the audacity, just there's so much wrong with this. I suggested that I just give up my bridesmaid's spot. Thankful to this day, I heard the dresses and bachelorette party cost all the other girls more money than I make in a month. Is that? I feel like that's really bad when the bride and groom sort of make everyone else pay for the wedding. I understand pitching it a little bit, but yeah, just to have them pay like thousands, just like fork out all this money for not even their special day, someone else's special day. I mean, I don't really get that.
My sister threw such a fit in my mother during the wedding dress search that my father offered her a blank check to elope so we don't have to put up with this. She declined and then divorced the guy a few years later. Thank you, Redditor Antioch. Sisters, what are you gonna do with them, huh? They're always doing stuff like this. Sounds annoying. Sounds very annoying. Well, you know what? Maybe if she had the perfect dress, maybe she wouldn't have to get divorced. Maybe they could have stayed together. The bride kicked the groom's lifelong best friend out of the wedding party because he lived with his girlfriend and she wanted her entire wedding party to be pure. Wait, what? Never mind that it was her third marriage and that the first 2 ended due to her own infidelity, while marriage number 3 ended the same way, but at least the groom and his friend worked past it and are still best friend. What the? Dude, how is that not the sign immediately that this marriage is not going to work out? If she says your best friend can't come because he gets it, because your best friend gets it every now and again, because your best friend found a woman he loves and chose to share his life with her, but he didn't do it in front of an altar, so I guess he's the devil.
I guess that makes me the devil.
That is nuts. I mean, I'm glad like they could work it out, but oh my God. I had already been to 3 dress fittings with a bride when at the last minute she scheduled a 4th fitting for herself on the same day my sister was coming into town. I told the bride that we were having a family dinner and she responded that I needed to make her the priority instead. Bridezilla behavior. When I told her I couldn't just drop everything, she told me that in that case I was no longer required to be a bridesmaid. Holy shh, don't swear. I didn't even get an invitation to the wedding. Oh my God. That is unbelievable entitled behavior. That is like spoiled little kid throwing a tantrum at their 6th birthday behavior. What? I get that you want your wedding to be beautiful. You want your wedding to be this big moment. You know, for some people, the wedding, it's something they've thought about their whole life. They've really fantasized about it. But you don't get to treat people like that.
Not so much a pre-wedding bridezilla story, but during. I was a bridesmaid in my older brother's wedding. I had 2 effing drinks at the wedding. 2. I felt fine. My sister-in-law got mad because in one of the wedding photos, there's one of me kissing a family friend of 15 years on the cheek because I haven't seen them in a while. It was such a nice picture too. The B said that it was inappropriate and she hasn't shown the wedding photos from the reception to anyone because she was drinking at my wedding and ruined some of the pictures. Wow. That's pretty awkward. I don't really know what's inappropriate about that. Like they're just kissing a family friend on the cheek. I mean, also, is 2 drinks really drunk? Kind of depends. It kind of depends, but I really doubt whatever happened there was enough to ruin an entire set of wedding photos. That's kind of ridiculous.
I'm loving the stock photos in this one, by the way. I'm not a wedding planner, but my friend is getting married soon. She planned this huge wedding with 8 bridesmaids and groomsmen, and when she tried to arrange for the bridesmaids to get together and pick out bridesmaid dresses, 2 of them couldn't make it on the day she picked. She was so upset that they couldn't come on that particular day that she sent out a nasty text to all the bridesmaids and canceled the big wedding, and now is having a destination wedding with just her fiance and their family. She shouldn't have sent a nasty text to her bridesmaids. That's not their fault. They have other arrangements to do. You might hate me for this, but I am actually a little bit in support of her saying, like, F it to the whole big wedding and just having a little one with her fiance and their family. I am of the opinion that is more what a wedding should be. I think it should be just a celebration of love with the people who are closest to you. And in my ideal world, like a wedding would be like us in a nice backyard or something. I would go super small, but don't send your bridesmaids a mean text. Naughty behavior. You're getting a finger wag from old Tay. My best friend left me out of her bridal party because I was overweight, and her mother thought that would limit bridesmaid dress choices and throw the wedding photos off. Sorry, so what you mean to say is your ex-best friend left you out of the bridal party because there is no way I could ever talk to that person again. Oh my God. I get that it's your special day, but good, wow, that's mean. You got a mean mom. You got a mean mom telling you can't have your best friend because she's gonna throw off. They make dresses for everybody. Oh, I'm sorry. That sucks, actually.
Similar story. At a wedding I went to, the bride replaced a bridesmaid of hers at the last minute because she dyed her hair a slightly lighter brown the night before. Apparently it didn't match the dress, which was bright pink. I mean, are these people really your friends if you can kick them out over their hair color? It's just so silly. And it's like, at this point you have to sort of wonder, I feel like people are having weddings just for the aesthetic of weddings and they're not really having a marriage. I mean, if you can kick someone out because she lightly toned her hair a different color, was that really your friend? It's so silly. Oh my gosh. It's like a spectacle, these weddings. My sister-in-law was a self-centered a-hole for about 6 months, with her coup de grace being the wedding day. I know it was all nerves, but I don't harbor any grudges. But I wouldn't relive that day for all the money in the world. My strongest memory is her holding a bag of her and screaming on the church steps, "Why am I holding something? Will someone explain to me why I am holding something on my effing wedding day? Someone better take this out of my hands immediately." Oh my gosh. Sounds kind of like an a-hole, actually. I do understand the pressure of it. A lot of these seem like the bridesmaids are under pressure because they have really big expectations and they're thinking of a million things, but nothing kills the magic of the day more than like snapping at people like that, yelling at them and like demanding that they do things for you. It's just, I don't know, that's not gonna make anyone treasure that memory exactly.
Brides sometimes don't think rationally. Tell me about it. A bride once called having a meltdown because her friend got engaged as well and was planning to get married in the same year as she was. Apparently it was her special year and not just a day. No, you don't get the other 364. It's enough BS when people are like, oh, my birth week or my birth month. I find that ridiculous. You don't get to have a wedding year. No, you get a weekend at absolute most, okay? You get a day, you get a party day, you get a day to recover. You're not getting a year. This bride's not thinking rationally. She threw a huge fit that this girl was only getting married to steal her thunder. That's why most people do it. Her friend's date wasn't even the same month or season. Hers was in October and her friend's was in June. Thank you, Redditor Silly Kitty 1990. You got some ridiculous friends, Redditor Silly Kitty. You don't get a whole year. That's preposterous. Nobody else, who else would be allowed to have the year then if you did this? The bride stopped talking to me immediately after her wedding because I had a terrible cold the day of her wedding and had to go rest in my room halfway through setting up her wedding decorations, which we bridesmaids made without her help. Well, yeah, you're so inconsiderate. You just had to get sick. You couldn't have a strong immune system. You couldn't be popping vitamin 12 all day and keep a virus out. You are just so inconsiderate. You should have been down there and you should have been spreading whatever sickness or cold you had to everybody in the wedding party. That's what a good friend would have done. God, the nerve of some people. The nerve. I was the maid of honor for my brother's wedding, in which he and his bride told me they had hired a professional photographer for the wedding. So I went above and beyond to make myself up for the photos, only to find out that they hadn't actually hired a photographer. They expected me to take all the wedding photos. I'm not even a photographer, not even close.
Not even close. Not even a little bit.
That is awful. Why would they tell you they hired a professional photographer if it was just you? Were they just trying to gas you up and they were doing it in the single worst way possible? Oh my god. Oh my god, my god.
I am a guy that used to have very, very long hair. I was a groomsman in my friend's wedding. About 6 months after the wedding, I cut my hair off. It's now about a year later and his wife still gives me crap for not having cut it for their wedding. I tell her I'll cut it for her next one. Aw, I love that. That's really funny. That's really funny. I would like to see this hair though. Like if it's completely a mop, just like a total mess. I do understand. I mean, grooming is a thing, so you should try to look nice. And if that means like getting a little bit of a haircut, I understand that. But at the same time, I mean, it's like still his hair. Like he can choose whether or not he wants it. So 6 out of 10, bridezilla. Not too bad.
I empower you to do the things that you dream. I promise to be your biggest advocate and your best friend. I commit to sharing with you a season of abundance.
Dude, that totally caught me by surprise. The sound effect. Did you hear that, folks? It sounded a little squinchy, didn't it? It's a little squinchy in the end, eh? Oh, and trust me, I know what squinchy sounds like. I guess that's the, what do you call it? The serve? What do you call, I'm an idiot. I don't know. See, that's stuff I don't know. Usually it's a priest or something like that, or a minister or something, or maybe she is a minister. I don't know, but whatever. That person standing there, she looks fine. She looks normal. But clearly she's trying to hold back that, you know, everyone's been there. Every single person who's ever refunded their lunch has been like, I'm totally fine. I'm not gonna puke. Why would I puke? I'm totally fine. It's fine right now. God, is it hot right now? God, I'm sweating. You start going, you know what I mean? So for her to do that, hey, you know what? I think the number one rule for that is, it's embarrassing, it sucks, it's not fun. But if you do it and get it out of you, you're gonna feel 20 times better. Like I immediately like, oh wow, I feel okay now. Cause yeah, you got rid of whatever was inside you. Stay off the martinis before the service though, that's all I can say to that. Oh, probably wasn't she's probably sick, but anyway.
Am I the for telling the bride that it is too expensive for her bridal party to spend $2,000 to $5,000 for a bachelorette plus her costs plus pay for other bridal events? No, you are not. That's insane. That's insane. I totally get, like, some people like to go lavish for their like parties and all of that stuff, which is, you know, fine. But I feel like if you want to spend thousands of dollars on a party, you also shouldn't expect anyone else to pay for your own costs. And like, you should keep it to just the one event. And you also shouldn't be upset when people can't afford to spend that much money. Like, that's an insane amount of money for one party. And some people can, which is fine, and they should do that. And other people can't, which is also fine, and they should not do that.
No phones. Oh! Yep. Yep. Those heels will get ya. That would suck. That would suck. But I'd laugh though, whatever. It'd be funny. I like the music that's playing, like for no reason also. I'm just like jamming out. See, everyone else was too normal about it. You know what I mean? That was me. That was like Bolivian hour, getting married. One day, imagine that, huh? She's not here. Okay, cool. I would laugh. I would laugh hysterically. I'd help them up. I'd be like, oh my God, you okay? Did you just break your hip? I don't know, they fell over. That's a beautiful wedding though. Beautiful wedding. Looks like the Legend of Zelda. Looks like the temple from Legend of Zelda. It's a great place to get married. The Temple of Time. It's a good place.
Okay, beautiful. Get the red carpet. This is the weddings I'm used to. Yep, in the church. It's gorgeous. It's beautiful. There we go. Walking the oh! Excuse me, I'm just gonna pull that back now. Yeah, here, let me just pull that up there. Let's pick up the flowers there. You know, that's, I get it. It's the whole, yeah, walking down. That's not that bad though. That's kind of funny. You can look back at that wedding video like 30 years from now. But remember when Cousin Marie fell over the thing there? Wasn't that funny? You can say that. And yeah, there we go. That wasn't that bad. I get it. It's this whole show, the whole presentation that the bride is walking down the aisle and the groom's down there, and I totally get it. I understand the majesty of it, but that's not that bad. I feel like the puking might be worse because it's like, remember when Cousin Marie drank too many martinis and knocked down the flowers? Or remember when the minister puked right before I said I do? Yikes. That could be a bad omen too if you puke right before the service. That could be bad.
The groom sent every guest a mail asking who needed babysitter at the wedding for the night. I answered that we would not need, as we will have to put our 3 children to bed at 10 or 11 p.m. He texted me angrily that it was not acceptable not to stay at least until 1 a.m. and that he would prefer me not to come rather than us leaving the dinner early. First of all, who's eating dinner till 1 a.m.? Like, no way, Jose, I'll be hungry long before then. I told him that we wouldn't come if he preferred, and he immediately canceled my room booking. What a psychopath. That's just so weird. Ew, that's so weird. Also, yeah, sorry, I don't want a stranger that you've organized looking after my children. Thanks, but no thanks. Also, weird, just weird. What if I don't want to stay till 1? Now I'm suddenly a bad friend because I'm leaving at 10 or 11? No. Thank God he canceled your room booking because he also canceled that friendship.
Oh. Well, what do you think? Oh, it's fine. How would I react? I'd be like, yeah, it's fine. I'm getting married. It's all good. You know, your undergarments would be a little damp all day. That would kind of suck. But otherwise, that'd be okay. Yeah.
Puts his feet in.
Yeah. Well, I think at that point you have to like admit defeat. You know what I mean? It's like he could have just like scooted himself up. True. No, yeah, he knew what he was doing. He was like, fuck it, it's done. He's like, It's like when you're a kid, you get pushed in a pool, whatever. You're like, I'm just not gonna come out. I'm just gonna swim in here forever then.
Love him, comfort him, honor and obey him.
Really, Anthony? You gonna act like you don't know me? What, you didn't take your psych meds today? After you got on him, and I got your baby here? Anthony, I know you hear me. You better get out of my mama's wedding. What is wrong with you?
Ooh, drama. Ooh. Was that a baby mom? What's going on there? Someone's baby. Uh-oh, that's not good. Yeah, I think in all my years of ever being to weddings, I've never had the experience of, what do they always say? Whoever, should anyone object to this marriage, forever speak now, forever hold your peace or whatever. I've never seen anyone go, yeah, right here. No, shouldn't happen. Got his kid right here. Shouldn't happen. Like an episode of like Maury or Jerry Springer or something. I've never seen that happen. But hey, you know, it looks like it does happen. That's kind of crazy.
My closest cousin, the closest thing I have to a sibling, has officially confirmed I won't be her maid of honor because I'm too fat for a maid of honor role. Have to lose some weight before December or no maid of honor duties for me. I shan't be attending the wedding. What is with everybody on having a weight limit for their wedding? Is that not the weirdest thing you've ever heard? It's just so strange. I just feel like there's so many other things to worry about on a wedding day and like in planning a wedding. I don't even know how your mind goes there. It's just insane. Also, like, no. I love this person. Yeah, I shan't be attending the wedding. I love it. I wouldn't either.
Keith Albertson. I welcomed my new aunt to the family by wiping my nose on her wedding dress after she walked down the aisle. Hashtag wedding fail. Oh, let's see that photo now. Yeah, that's, you know what? It looks pretty good. It looks pretty soft. Whenever I'm sick, I like to have like a handkerchief. I'm definitely a handkerchief guy. I just like to have something on my nose, just kind of like soft and around. But he knows what's up. He knew at a young age. That's so funny. I love like the old family photo that they probably just like took. Had no idea, obviously, until like a month later. Then they developed it and they're like, that little fucker.
Okay, but I don't know if... Okay, maybe Cousin Eddie wasn't invited, actually. Okay. We're dancing, yeah. Oh, he might be interrupting something here. I like the dancing. The dancing's nice, yeah. Yeah. But, yeah. Boy, look at the eyes she's giving, bro. Look at them. Oh, look at them, both of them, bro. Oh, no. Oh, no. I don't think he was supposed to be up there. Someone get Cousin Eddie before he causes too much problems. Oh, man. That's awkward. Also equally funny, though. That was pretty funny. I like that one. Oh, God, I hope my wedding's not awkward. Was your, I mean, Chris, you're not married. I was like, was your wedding awkward? But I just, that's so stupid. It's like, Chris, was your wedding awkward? You're probably not married either. He's a young, handsome guy. He's not married. What am I saying? He's a single Pringle ready to mingle, baby. Let's go.
My friend is having her wedding this fall, but she can't afford it, so she is trying to get her friends to work for free. After a month of begging and repeated texts, I give up and quote her that the cake she wants will be $400. I was getting her a $100 gift for her wedding, so if she doesn't want the gift, I'll charge her $300. She got upset, saying she can't afford it and she's only willing to pay $100 for it. I lost my temper and told her she doesn't deserve a nice wedding if she can't pay people what they're worth and hung up. I mean, it's true. I have sympathy, you know, for not being able to afford all of the things that you want. I can understand that, you know, that's not the best situation to be in. But also, your misfortune doesn't have to be everyone else's misfortune as well. You know, there are other ways around it. You can also just postpone your wedding and save up. You could just not have this big fancy wedding at all.
I'll never consider that.
There are just other options other than being a bad friend, but maybe that's just me and my opinions.
After my dad walked me down the aisle, but before he gave me away, he asked my fiance, "Did you bring the money?" Wedding fail. I think that's a wedding win. I think that's a pretty much it's a wedding win. Cause dads like to say all that cheesy shit, right? They always have some zinger that they prepared for 21 years. That was the 21-year long zinger that he couldn't wait to tell you, Tina.
Oh, that's cute. Look at that. No, that's a beautiful dog right there. Oh, is he bringing the ring? Uh-oh. He's gonna give it to him. Good boy. Let's go, dude. Absolutely. Oh, that's just cute. That's so nice. They got a doggy. That's so nice, man. Oh, no! I love it. That went south so fast. I was not expecting that whatsoever. I was like, look how cute the doggy is. And he just went for a full whiz, brother. He treated it like it was a fire hydrant, as doggies do. Wow. I guess not the worst thing to ever happen. It's a little embarrassing. I hope, you know, I wouldn't want to smell like the dog the rest of the night because the weddings usually last a while. And, you know, I feel like a lot of ladies save their wedding dresses and they put them away, but every time you open, you're gonna whiff a buster every time you open her up. So hopefully the dry cleaners can take care of that. But that was funny. That was good. I like that one. That caught me by surprise. Nice.
I thought it was assumed that you know, I've worked in a bar for so long, so I was like, the front of house, back of house, what is this? Medium of house? What is the MOH? The mother of the husband, right? MOH? I don't know these Reddit terms. I thought it was assumed that I, the mother of the husband, should catch the bouquet. Okay, get those hands ready then, I guess. I ended up fighting a 10-year-old for it. And after yelling, "Please, I'm 24, I decided to let her have it because she'll probably get married before me anyways. And then her mom made her give it back. Hashtag wedding fail. You know what? I agree with all of that. I'm 27 and I'm like, you know what? Go get it. No, the kid's not ready. She doesn't understand that. No way. But I like that her mom made her give it back. But that makes it real and kind of sad. You know what I mean? She's like, no, please, if you do this, now it's real and I have to actually get married. I don't really want that pressure. I actually regretted it the second, you know, I caught it. That's so funny. Yeah, it's my favorite part of the wedding because you always see 3 people who really want to catch it. And then you see 2 people in the back who definitely don't want to catch it. You know what I mean? They're like, oh, what if, please. They're standing with their hands behind their back, purposefully standing in the bad angles. Yeah, I know. Sometimes you're ready, sometimes you're not. Know your limits, play within it. Lotto 649. I don't know what the I'm at now.
She told me to send my assistant to the funeral and that I had better be at her wedding. Oh boy. Coordinator here. We had a death in the family a few days prior to the wedding. I called the bride and told her the situation and said that my assistant would be stepping in for me so that I could attend the funeral. Don't even make me read this next part. I don't even need to read it, I just don't want to. She told me to send my assistant to the funeral and that I had better be at her wedding. I told her I would be sending her a refund and that no one would be coming. I want you to just for a second here, you know? Just for a second, imagine the kind of human being who says something like this, who thinks like this, who says, ignore your own family member's crises and your own family member's issue, your funeral celebrating your loved one. I'm more important to that. Send your assistant to the funeral? What is that? Could you send somebody else to grieve for you? Could you send somebody else to give your mother a firm hug and tell her that her days will be okay? You don't have to do it. You need to make sure you're getting nice photos of me when they're throwing the bouquet. I'm gonna put a hole through the monitor if I keep looking at these, man.
I had a friend that threw a temper tantrum complete with screaming and foot stomping because her grandma had the audacity to die a few hours before her wedding. Oh, I shouldn't laugh, that's bad. She said it would throw off the seating arrangements. Because now there is a big empty space. She's currently halfway through her second divorce. Could have seen that one coming a mile away. Oh, this is so stupid. Oh my gosh. Wow. Well, she's halfway through her second divorce, so what does that say? Poor grandma. Oh my god. That's horrible. Just imagine having a tantrum because your own grandma had the audacity to die hours before the wedding. Oh, that's so sad. A good friend of mine was a bridesmaid for a girl who had lost her mind over the course of her planning in her pursuit of ceremonial perfection. Her escalating decrees included: number 1, no bridesmaid was allowed to wear pink makeup because the bride didn't like it. My friend had dark brown skin and pinks were pretty much the only colors that would work for her. Number 2, the bridesmaid had to coordinate the heel height so they would all appear to be the same height. My friend was 5'2". The tallest bridesmaid is 5'9". Oh. I don't know how that's gonna work. She wanted my friend to wear 7-inch stilettos for an outdoor wedding. Whoa. Number 3, the bride expected all her bridesmaids to abstain from eating night before surgery style until after the wedding was over, so there was no unsavory stomach bulges. That's kind of offensive. Number 4, my personal favorite, the bride wanted all the bridesmaids to stay in a tent in her backyard for the night following the wedding, so they would be early to set up for the present opening. I mean, now that's something I would not go to. How are you gonna make all the bridesmaids the same height as well? Like one of them is 5'2", one of them is 5'9". That's crazy.
I was pregnant and was asked to be in a family member's wedding, which was 4 weeks from my due date. Well, I went out of state to visit my significant other's family when I was 6 months pregnant, and I received a scathing group email from her, accusing me of not being committed to the wedding because I was out spending money on a pointless vacation and baby stuff instead of ordering my dress. At that point, I knew I needed to act. Girl, really? At that point, I knew I needed to get out. So I replied all that it would probably be best if I dropped out as a bridesmaid, and her sister-in-law, who was also pregnant, by the way, chimed in saying, "Don't bother. We all know you got pregnant on purpose as an excuse to not be a committed member of this family." That is definitely why someone chooses to bring a life into this world. The only reason why you could possibly conceive of having a child is to skirt out on family stuff.
She's right, I had my second kid just for the vacation.
Right.
Yeah, I know, I'd love to skip Thanksgiving, and the easiest way to do that is to spend 9 months carrying a human being inside my body. I'm glad these are just stories, because if I had to associate faces with these, I think I would blow a blood vessel.
I don't know if this counts, but my best friend's brother married a woman that literally just used him for a wedding. He was a long time, over 40-year-old nerdy but successful single guy who was suddenly engaged to this very outgoing woman who planned a huge, elaborate, and expensive wedding that she micromanaged down to the last detail. My friend was a bridesmaid and went through all kinds of crap. And then about 2 months after the wedding, this poor guy comes home to a half-empty house and a note that says she didn't want to be married after all. I'm not normally a violent person, but I could seriously punch this woman in the face. Yeah, wow, that's rough. That's what I mean. I was like, I think people just like weddings. I don't think that they're doing it for marriage, and this person certainly sounds like it. She obviously did it for attention or something. I mean, when you're getting married, all eyes are on you, and it's your special day, and it's supposed to be, you know, the day where you dress like a princess, feel like a princess, and obviously, you know, this guy had a little bit of money and she probably did it for that reason too. And it's so sad, like only 2 months later, she was gone. So she didn't really want to be with him in the first place. My bridezilla friend told me I wasn't allowed to take pain medication for my lupus at her wedding. She was afraid I'd be too out of it to perform my maid of honor duties. 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. is a long time to be on your feet without a break and without pain meds. I sent them off to their honeymoon and drove 8 hours home in a misery. What kind of friends do these people have? Just kind of like horrible behavior. I just don't know what sort of switch flips when like women become brides and they just have all these ridiculously outlandish expectations that they throw on their friends. It's like, what is it? And like, are there any warning signs that we could have foreseen that someone's gonna be a massive bridezilla? I don't know.
My best friend got married, and she was actually very calm throughout the whole planning process. And on the wedding day, however, the day after the wedding, the Boxing Day of the wedding, she texted me and sarcastically said, "Thanks for the wedding present." I was planning to get her a present with my next paycheck. However, I was in such shock that she texted me that after I spent $800 on her dress, alterations, shoes, nails, makeup, hair, and hotel room just to be in her wedding. It felt like all she cared about was gifts. So many of these stories just makes the bride sound like a petulant, like 9-year-old who's upset that like other people are riding the pony at her birthday party, you know? It seems like a lot of people treat weddings as like a huge adult birthday party, and I just don't get it. I thought it was about love. Maybe I'm a sap. Maybe I am a sucker and a sap. Oh my God. My wife's best friend is a florist, and she gifted her service to her friend's wedding. Well, afterward, the bride and her ma got pissy at her because she didn't give them an additional gift. Let's conveniently forget the $1,000 in floral products she gifted to the wedding. It's a rift that has never been healed. Yeah, that's annoying. The bride and her mom, because she didn't give them enough presents. $1,000 just wasn't enough presents. Every single one of these sounds like a spoiled 8-year-old. Man, this is wild to me how people get bridezillas, man, no kidding. After the ceremony was over, the bride informed us that in order to save money, the wedding party would not be served a meal along with the rest of the guests. She said, "You already had the privilege of being in my wedding. What more can you ask for?" I love that undeserved confidence. I love that incredibly smug aura.
So smug. Like he thought it was funny, like this.
And by love, I mean I actually hate that. Come on, man. I came to the wedding. You don't think I want a plate of chicken or fish? You don't think I'm hungry too? I had to stand in a wedding for like an hour and a half. I'm probably working up a real hunger. I don't want to go to any. The bride, who was one of my best friends and very frugal, asked me and her other bridesmaid to hand make all of her wedding decorations. I put in 15 hours a week hand making decorations while also working and going to school full time. Well, she needed her arts and craft aesthetic, man. I don't know if you've been on Pinterest lately, but it's an arms race to try and keep up and have the cutest, most effervescent wedding. You gotta pull out all the stops. You can't just have it in a barn anymore. It's not that easy. It's not 2014 no more. You gotta hand make all the decorations and exploit your friend's labor. Oh, I think I'm hating weddings. I think I'm starting to hate the institution of marriage. Any of these people's weddings. The final straw for me was when the bride demanded to see the toast I'd written so she could edit it. She ended up rewriting it all together, and I ended up skipping her wedding. Why even ask for a toast then? Why not just write out the script? Why not just send out the script for your wedding if that's what you're looking for? Let's keep going, man. My best friend just got kicked out of a wedding party because she couldn't afford to spend the $1,500 to go to the bachelorette party. The bride told her to take out a credit card to pay for it. Oh, bitch. Didn't mean to. You pay for it. You pay for it if it's that important. You're clearly throwing money around. If anyone ever asked me to spend $1,500 on top of I can't even talk. I can't even form a sentence. This stuff is making my blood boil. All right, finally, number 1. She kicked someone out of the wedding party who couldn't make it to bridesmaids dress shopping because she was sick and had to go to the hospital. Well, fuck you for being sick. Ooh. It's your own fault. You should know better. You should keep your immune system up to strength if you're gonna be in my wedding party. We can't have someone with a weak immune system in my wedding party. Good, cull the herd, purge the weak. I hate all of these people, man. I'm just gonna be making those noises for the rest of the day.